Welcome back to Wrestling Ruined Our Marriage. My name is Tanner, and I'm here with my lovely wife, Cammie.
Hi, guys.
And we are going to do a review of Raw with a little bit of opinion on there as well. So Raw started off last night. First overall opinion is you had great momentum coming in from SummerSlam. That was probably one of the best pay-per-views I've seen in a long while. They had a lot of great returns. They've had a lot of great matches. And I feel like Raw, they probably had the worst matches at SummerSlam. And they also failed to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, it was a little lackluster.
You have all these great returns. You have a lot of direction you could go. And
well, to be fair, I guess their returns were SmackDown.
Yeah, they were definitely, you had the Brock Lesnar return and the Becky Lynch return. But you had a lot of momentum coming out where they really put on a hell of a show, and I feel like you kind of lost it on Raw. It was kind of hard to engage. We'll go over best and worst of the night once we wrap up everything. Let's just do a quick wrap-up. So Lashley starts off the night, and him and MVP come out. They're talking about the Goldberg match. They're saying Goldberg, used to have a great career. His career as of late has not been that great. They're not wrong in saying that. He's had a lot of really, really bad matches. Still an incredible physique. Guy's got genetics like crazy.
Yeah.
And they're maintaining that he would have never known that it was Gage that he put the Hurt Lock on, and knocked out. And then they kind of start antagonizing the crowd, which leads Damian Priest to come out. Now you have a Damian Priest and Bobby Lashley kind of feuding in the ring. They start getting in a fist fight. Bobby Lashley says, hang on, I need to run to the back. I need to switch my clothes real quick, and I'm going to come back out and have this match.
That was a little choppy.
It's kind of odd right there. We were talking, and I just go back to like the Authority and Triple H. Triple H never left the ring, changed clothes to come back and finish the fight. If he was in there in his nice suit, he would take off the suit jacket, he would roll up his sleeves on each side and just start kicking some ass. He would end it with a pedigree or whatever else. He didn't need to change his suit. That was kind of an odd direction. Anyways, him and Priest start their match off after he comes back out all freshly changed into his nice clothes now. And in the middle of that match, Sheamus interferes, starts attacking Priest, which leads Drew McIntyre to come back out. And now you have Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest versus Sheamus and Bobby Lashley. That match ends with Bobby Lashley taking off to the back and abandoning Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest taking the lead.
Yep.
Quick hits on that. I don't know if I have a best of the night for that. I mean, they're pushing Priest, which I think is good. He's a pretty good character. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what direction not just Priest is going in, but any of them are going into. Let's just start with Priest. I'll give kind of my thoughts and then jump on as well. Yeah. So I think with Priest comes out, and I don't know that you should be having him in a match right away with Bobby Lashley. Both these guys, Priest just barely wins the U.S. Championship. Now he's going in a match against Bobby Lashley, who just defeated Goldberg and is supposed to be on this elite status. I don't know why. You have so many characters on Raw that you should be able to start feuds with right now. So many
other, talent that they could have pushed right there.
Yeah, and they could have had feuds. I don't know the direction for that. So that's the short and skinny on Priest. I don't know where him and McIntyre will go jump into McIntyre. I don't know where they're going. They had one segment in the back where I think McIntyre's feud with Jinder Mahal might be coming to an end now. They had one scene in the back where Priest and McIntyre were saying they were going to go out drinking and partying and fighting everybody later that night. So they have that scene.
Yeah, that kind of falls back, though. McIntyre and Sheamus did that for a little bit as well. But there is really no clear direction as to where they're going to push either of those two superstars. Damian Priest for the last couple of weeks was behind the scenes talking to Riddle about how bad Randy Orton was. And now it's like, okay, squash that. You're going here. I don't know. I think it was a missed opportunity for them to push some other people, whether it was a new person to go up against Bobby Lashley or just even Damian Priest.
Keith Lee.
Yeah,
he's
Keith
come back. Cool. He's got a good character. Hopefully he's getting better and better.
Yeah.
That kind of wraps up my thoughts on those two guys. I don't really know what they're doing, but hopefully it's something good. I think people used to complain about Roman Reigns getting shoved down their throat. Man, McIntyre is right there with him. So now you have Sheamus and Lashley. I'll start with Lashley because I'm gonna I think Sheamus, I guess if I have to have a high point, it would be Sheamus for the night. So, Lashley, I already complained about the suit. Now I don't know, is he going against Gage and Goldberg? Is he going to start taking off a match for Sheamus? Is him and Priest going, like, what's the direction here?
I don't think they know.
Right? I think it was a bad segment for him. I don't really know where they're going with it. And that's going to lead me right into Sheamus. And then
I like Sheamus a lot. I think he would be a good champion. I've always been a huge fan of Sheamus, though.
I think he could carry a lot more. I mean, he's been the champion in the past. I don't know that his, U.S. title run was that great right now. But I feel like if they give him more time on TV, he's got a good character.
He does have a good character.
Me and you have done, we've got on there, Sheamus has these workout videos on YouTube where he brings in other wrestlers and he does their workouts. And he's starting to do it with other celebrities now, too. And so that has actually, those videos have taken off and he's getting really big.
Those are so fun, too. Those are, like, for anybody who wants to, what does Alexa Bliss do? Or what does this person do for their workout? It's really kind of cool to see an insight as to what they do. And
DDP yoga.
Yeah, we did DDP yoga, the Sheamus, Finley, and...
You want to see a 60-year-old man stand on his head, DDP can do that.
It was pretty cool, though. Those videos are really, really cool. I'll post a link down in our description bar.
You have that following that he has. He's got a pretty decent character. After he loses the match and Lashley bails on him, Sheamus goes hunting for Lashley in the back, and they kind of get in a verbal altercation, and they get split up from there. I think Sheamus is a good, worthy opponent for him right now. I would rather see Sheamus than Goldberg at this point. I don't really care to see McIntyre up there again. We've already seen McIntyre and Lashley. I think he's the best fit, especially if either Orton and Riddle are going to take off and be the tag champs. You either bring AJ Styles back into the picture or, Sheamus. I mean, throw some comments down below on other people you think would be great for that role. I think you get Keith Lee into the U.S. title picture, and then maybe Sheamus takes off and does something with the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
The last thing that I'll say is, come on, Big E.
Yeah,
that's your match right there. Okay, so that wraps up, and the next segment is probably my favorite segment of the night. One of the favorite segments of the night, I guess, because it ties into Alexa Bliss. So Doudrop during SummerSlam finally kind of turns her back a little bit on Eva Marie.
Which we could all see happening.
Yeah.
Leading to. Yeah.
I think they were trying to get Eva Marie the big bump there, and the crowd took off more for Doudrop than anybody else. So Eva Marie attacks her from behind. They start fighting. Sets up a potential match next week for Eva Marie and Doudrop.
Well, no, I don't think it's a potential match. I think it's happening. I saw that on WWE's Twitter.
Nice.
Is that it was happening next
week. So
you
have a for sure match right there, which will be pretty good. Hopefully Eva Marie actually
it was good.
wrestles.
I think in a way, in all fairness to Eva Marie, I mean, she knows her character has never really wrestled. Even when she was like all red or whatever, she never really wrestled. It was always, wardrobe malfunction or something happened. But there are videos of her circulating where she does know how to wrestle. So it would be kind of cool to see her, use some of that talent. Maybe the crowd would get more behind her if they could actually see her wrestle.
So,
I don't know, just a thought.
That actually wasn't my favorite segment of the night. I was just excited because of the Alexa Bliss ties there. Alexa was my favorite storyline of the night. So the next segment after that is Karrion Kross versus Ricochet. So, a couple things here. They mentioned nothing of Karrion Kross losing the title to Samoa Joe the night before. Yeah. The entire crowd just wants Scarlett there. And at this point, I think for Kross to get over, that's his last chance. And I don't think he can have this intimidating character anymore. He needs to get with Scarlett. They need to bring her out because that's the only thing that's going to get him a pop right now. They have completely lost the WWE side of the crowd. NXT might still back him. It doesn't seem like he's getting any attention on WWE. And the matches that they're putting him in, why are you going to bury Ricochet? The guy's been putting on pretty good.
So talented.
Yeah, he's been putting on good matches, and you just put him out there.
So he can tap out, yeah.
The story of the night here is whatever mask they put on him to give this intimidating factor, man, that is a meme-worthy mask.
Kind of reminded me of like one of those, the people that would an executioner is what it reminded me of. But I don't know.
Karrion Kross is like, I want Scarlett with me. And Vince is like, no, man, wear the mask instead. This is such good shit.
No, you got the mask.
This is good shit, man. So it kind of reminded me. I mean, you said the old school gladiator type people,
Yeah,
right?
it's like a barbarian or something like that. Yeah.
I'm going Pulp Fiction. We'll throw a Pulp Fiction reference up on there, and that's what it's going to be next week, I think. They smash Ricochet in that match and move on. They've got to figure something out here. I mean, the mask was not the answer to getting Karrion Kross over.
No.
The next segment there was the Bobby Lashley and Sheamus. We already kind of went over that. Sheamus goes and finds him. They kind of set up a heated thing in the back. After that, we get Moist TV.
Oh, poor Logan Paul.
Logan Paul, man, that was...
the crowd just chewed his ass out.
Right? Lots of water references on there. Logan Paul comes out, and they boo him. And it's not like a great, Seth Rollins has that energy where he says something and does his little laugh at the end, and the crowd boos.
He couldn't get in a word in edgewise.
He could not even talk. They booed him out of the stadium. They kept trying to save him, and they kept trying to do kind of cheap pops to the crowd to get anything tied over.
Why do you guys think they did that? Just let us know your thoughts. I'd like to know that.
Why? Because he's garbage, man.
Why?
I think his brother has a little bit more following.
Why?
I think Jake Paul does, because Jake, he's put on some decent performances, right? Mm-hmm. And he has a fight this weekend against Tyron Woodley, which is a big part of what they were doing. They were pushing that fight this weekend. It was Logan Paul's brother Jake versus Tyron Woodley. And a lot of people, Tyron Woodley has knockout power. He is a world-class athlete. His last couple UFC fights have been awful. I don't think he was really into them. Jake has a lot of people on his side thinking he's still going to take this. I think he has a lot more. When Logan Paul lost me, he goes up, fights Floyd Mayweather, and I think a lot of people... There's one thing to getting fans on your side, and then there's one thing of just straight corniness. The moment he lost me was not any of the YouTube stuff, him coming out, him getting rich, anything like that. Even him in the Mayweather fight. Go get your money. When he did the stole your hat thing and took off, I was like, okay, now we're super childish. So I think people are just, I don't know, I think he's corny as hell. His brother, I think, is going to be the superstar here. Logan's got a lot of stuff. He fought Mayweather, so it's hard to say the brother's the superstar. But I do think that Jake's going to have a better career and he's going to have better fights. He's not as good as Jake, and I don't think he's going to be as good in the boxing career either. They tried everything to save it and pull it together. It didn't work. Like we said, Logan Paul literally got booed out of the stadium. He could not get a word in without them booing. It was really, really, really rough. That sets up the match. Miz comes down. He's jealous. Like I said, he tried to save the show. That sets up the match right away with Xavier Woods and The Miz. And I think everybody has seen this coming. They just didn't know what direction it was going to go. So at one point, they're kind of heated, Miz and Morrison, right? Yeah. Morrison's trying to help Miz out as much as he can. He sprays the ground with his drip stick, hoping that Xavier slips, and it ends up being The Miz. Match ends. Miz loses, and from there,
The Miz and Morrison just start going crazy. And The Miz goes crazy and beats up Morrison bad. They
try and bring it all together, do their little spray the drip sticks, and Miz just jumps Morrison from behind and knocks the hell out of him.
Which I hope in turn with splitting them up, I hope they push Morrison because he needs that character development. He needs that push. Yeah, I just hope they do that. I hate to see him split him up and then bury him.
Miz is willing to do that. He's willing to play the bad guy. He'll do it. My favorite part of this, besides Logan Paul getting booed out of the stadium, is after Miz jumps him as he's walking up the ramp. The crowd jumped in immediately, was just chanting, "Why, Miz? Why? Why, Miz? Why?" So that was pretty great. Next up was the 24/7 championship.
Yeah. He was walking up, it was Reggie, and he was walking up to...
He's teaching people how to watch their backs. He's got ice cream ready
for everybody.
He's got ice cream
ready, and I loved how they had R-Truth and the little hunting camel outfit. It was pretty funny.
They can keep those segments going. I think they're always somewhat entertaining.
I think R-Truth is hilarious.
I wonder who the hell was the guy running out of the RV and the pants, the big gut, and the suspenders over the top. The match is ending. This guy comes running out. It looked like I don't know if he was you would think he was part of the segment, but it looked like he thought something was really going down. He was about to chase that ice cream truck down the side. That was pretty great.
No, it's just WWE. It's okay.
Right. right? So I don't know who that guy was, but man, he was ready to go get that championship too. Next segment goes into Mansoor fighting. I think he was on the match. I don't know if it was with Jinder or one of Jinder's two guys. But anyways, Jinder goes crazy, snaps, starts beating up Mansoor. They're trying to push Mansoor and Ali. Ali's kind of a weird mentor type thing. I'm not into any of the segment at all. Whatever. That's
hope
my
that
feelings
they can
on
find,
it.
I hope they can find the right direction for them. I just feel like overall Monday Night Raw is just lacking that direction.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the right direction's NXT or something like that, where you can build better stories. I don't know. They obviously need talent on Raw, but just Ali's never been a character I've really cared for.
I really have liked him, but I've
never cared for him.
I've liked him. I just hope they can find the right push for him. I think he's got a lot of potential. Like when he had, now I'm spacing it, but when he was doing that like little gang where they were beating up everybody and like destroying the set of Raw and whatever. I liked that. They could have gone somewhere with that. Can you remember the name of it? I liked it. I just can't remember the name.
I didn't like it. Let's try this NXT thing again. Let's try the takeover again. Let's try the SmackDown invasion. Let's try the Raw invasion. Now they just have these guys, and these guys, Mason T-Bar, I think, are the only two that are still around from that. They've obviously dropped that whole deal.
Yeah, I think they could have gone somewhere had they had the direction, though, is my point.
You can do something like, obviously, it's hard to stay creative when they've done everything before. Anytime that they're going to do anything, you're going to compare it to something. Just kind of like I look at Orton and Riddle as the Rock and Sock connection. We'll get to that in a little bit later again. But they've already done everything, so it's hard to keep that creativity. But you can do a little bit different of the invasion, Yeah. Anyways, on to the next one. Charlotte Flair.
She can work that mic, though. She's very...
I feel like she failed it this time. I feel like she failed the mic this time.
I liked it.
So she comes out. My notes here are literally... Charlotte Flair comes out. She's supposed to be the bad guy, and she cannot get the crowd to stop cheering for her. She comes out, says, woo! And it's supposed to be a full-on heel promo about how you need to respect her in this nice outfit. She's the 12th champion. She keeps winning and winning. The only time, and she even, at one point, she keeps saying stuff to take shots, and the crowd just keeps going, woo! Or they keep cheering for her. They're not booing at all. And at one point during the promo, she even looks at the crowd and goes, come on, guys. Like, she's shocked that she can't get them to boo either. She finally takes a cheap shot at them. At the people in San Diego, or something about the universe, she doesn't need you. She gets a 2-second boo. And then she cuts another line on there talking about how great of a champion she is, and they start cheering again. She couldn't get the crowd to boo her at all.
I like.
She's pretty good on the mic, like you say.
She's really good on the mic. Like I love the direction. How she's bow down to the queen. I loved that.
Right. So the direction they were trying to go to make her this ultimate heel on that segment, it did not work. And I think a lot of that is credit to her. We talked a little bit about SummerSlam, and they had Nikki ASH on there. They had Rhea Ripley on there. You would think they're somewhat similar talent, because people just say, Flair's just living in her daddy's shadow, whatever. Flair outshined all of them by a mile in that match.
Well, I would think that, but she's...
If it was
so
just
talented.
Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley, that match would have been...
a flop.
Yeah, nobody would have really tuned in. Charlotte made that whole match, and she definitely...
She's so
not just the
talented.
fact that she won, but everything that she was doing in that match was dead on. She outshined everybody by a mile.
It's like a couple of years ago, I think it was Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte. They put on some of the greatest matches that I've seen. Like, they are just so extremely talented. So whether or not you think Charlotte's just living in her dad's shadow, I don't know. She's pretty talented. I don't think that's the case.
As long as she ain't living on them airplanes with him, she's okay.
Oh my gosh, that was a train.
So...
So bad.
There's been many of those, I'm sure.
So bad.
Okay, so anyways, back to my favorite moment of the night. Like I said, I got all excited with Doudrop and Eva Marie, but Alexa Bliss comes out. She is finally jumping into the title picture. She comes out Lily doll. Still not over on Lily, but despite what social media is telling you, Lily's getting over. You look out at the crowd, there's a lot of Lily signs. There's a lot of Lily dolls out there. When she goes up in SummerSlam and holds up Lily, that crowd pops.
It was kind of cool. Somebody on Twitter had posted a video from SummerSlam, like they were a fan there. And as she's walking out, you can see all these little Lily dolls all around. And she just works it the way she's looking at everyone as she's walking down the ring. Like, it was cool. I'll have to see if I can find the video, but it was really cool. Yeah.
So she comes out and says, Lily and I just want to say hi. And so there's your storyline. Clear-cut storyline. Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss. Let's go. Everybody's here to see it.
Yep.
Let's get some mind games going. Let's disturb the queen. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Now we're talking here. This is one where they drop the ball. Next segment is Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. They kind of start bickering backstage about, Shayna's mad that Nia went out and helped Charlotte. And then they kind of kiss, make up, whatever. They go out and they start talking. They start a match with Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH. So you drop. I hate to say they keep dropping the ball every week, but last week you have Nia go in and help Charlotte Flair. Nia, she can be pushed. I'm not a big fan, but some people jump on.
I'm a fan. I like Nia.
It's in San Diego. They've made a point that San Diego is Nia Jax. That's her hometown. You want to get at least, say you're not going to throw her in a title picture. You're not going to make her this good, person. If you want a one-night pop, you have her go out and confront Charlotte Flair at some point. Obviously, it's going to convolute my storyline with Alexa Bliss, and I just complained about that. But you want that pop, have her do something to say, like, how dare you walk out on me, Charlotte? What the hell? And then you have her, like, maybe take down Charlotte. Do something.
Crowd
like,
or something.
It's her hometown. They're backing her, and you just have, Shayna Baszler say, oh, man, why did you do that? They say, okay, we're going to be a great tag team, and they go back out there. I don't know. You lost a shot to me. You could have taken advantage of a crowd that was an okay crowd, but you could have probably got a good pop. I mean, they were advertising that last week when this happened that it was going to be in her hometown. They had the storyline already set up and whatever. Anyways.
She was even posting about it on her Twitter, like, hey, I'm going home, like, excited. That was their opportunity to get the crowd hyped up.
Not only do you do that, but you take them out there, you put them in a tag match against Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley, and you have them lose, and they bail out of the ring.
Yeah,
The best thing, I hope we can get a photo of it eventually up here, but if not, watch it. So after the match, Rhea Ripley standing in there. Nikki ASH comes running and jumps into Rhea's hands, and she catches her and is holding her. And the look on her face is that look when you realize, man, I was just in the championship picture, and now I'm in the women's tag team division that is trash right now. Nobody cares about any of the champions in the women's division. You put them out there. Well, that was great. Build that tag division. You put them out there. Now let's do something with it. But yeah, her face on that was pretty damn funny.
Yeah.
That finishes up. You have a little quick segment between where they're interviewing Morrison backstage, and he says he's going to finish Miz next week, so that's going to be their first big match for Morrison versus Miz.
Excuse
Just
me.
being pulled away for a minute. Okay, and then to finish up the show, your biggest guys on the show right now, I still think they're bigger than Lashley. They're bigger than the champion, and it's your biggest storyline that you have going right now. You have the RK Bro celebration. Again, I've been saying for a couple weeks, I thought that this was going to kind of go toward the Rock and Sock Connection, type of deal. And I remember Mankind coming out and throwing that big birthday party for The Rock, and he's bringing back his high school coaches. He's doing this big celebration. They have all this stuff, and The Rock was just dying inside. Pretty close to the same thing. You have the RK Bro celebration. And Riddle comes out. He has balloons hanging all over. He puts them in the corners so Randy Orton can't even get up and do his normal entrance. So he kind of gets blocked from that. All that stuff's all decorated. You can tell Orton's not that into it at all. And then Riddle's like, hey, friendship is just as important as championships, and I got this for you, bro. And busts out a custom scooter for old Randy Orton with a nice click. Folds right up, ready to go. Kind of in the middle of that. Oh, scooter even has tassels because Randy wants those.
I totally want that scooter.
I'm sure Randy loves it. Should put little snake heads on the tassels too. That would have been nice.
Like
but
little Medusa thing.
Obviously, out comes, AJ and Omos to ruin the party. That kicks off a match between AJ and Riddle. And they start kind of going back and forth on the outside. At one point, Omos tries to interfere. AJ grabs that Orton grabs
Randy grabs it and beats
grabs the
crap.
brand new scooter and takes out Omos with the scooter, so it comes in
Yeah.
handy. And the show finishes up with
Riddle and Orton winning, and well, I guess Riddle winning.
doing their little thing on the back, right?
Yeah.
They're doing that. It
Which
kind of gets a good crowd pop from the crowd.
They're kind of a funny dynamic.
They're good. I still think let's pull some other teams in there. I want AJ Styles back as a singles competitor. I don't know where they're going with Omos. He did whatever, but
Don't either, and I kind of we've said it before. Why isn't your champion finishing out the show?
I mean they had him start it this week at least, but
But it was lackluster in the beginning, so it
it's
was
not a good start.
yeah.
To finish up, one of the finishing things here, long live Elias. He's coming back. I don't know. He's dropping the guitar and getting a big old beach hat type deal. He says that, he conquered everything in the music world. Now he's going to conquer everything in the wrestling world. Maybe that's your guy to go against Damian Priest. Maybe that's your next Lashley guy.
I hope they
We
push
said
him.
last week, I liked his character. I've liked him on the mic. I like his build. His size is good. He's got everything I think that's there to be a champion. They just have to get him back. He had the crowd won over at one point.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty good on the mic. He can draw back and forth on there.
Yeah.
I hope this new character that they have for him takes off and it gets him back in the championship picture.
I agree. Yeah.
So that's pretty much my thoughts. Again, couple decent segments and a couple clear directions, but overall, you had great momentum coming from SummerSlam. Let's hope SmackDown picks it up and can run with it.
Well, stay tuned. Thanks for joining us,
Thanks.
guys.